Good day, future teachers. Assessment is one of the integral parts for us as a source of learning because it allows us to know whether the students learn or not. Assessment can be defined both as a product and a process. Today, let's talk about assessment as a product of the process. There is one type of term we use in assessment. We call it assessment of learning. To better understand assessment of learning, let's talk about the three types that encompasses assessment in learning. There are three types of assessment in learning. First is assessment for learning, second is assessment of learning, and third is assessment as learning. Today, let's talk about assessment of learning. In assessment of learning, one thing to remember is that it is done after the instruction. In assessing, there are things an assessor does. First is giving of tests after the instruction, which is what we call summative exam. Second is computing of grades. Third is report cards. And fourth is giving of grades to the students, parents, and other stakeholders. Today, I'm gonna give examples and scene on what is assessment of learning in the real world.
First is the giving of summative exam or what we know as periodical test.
Okay, good morning class. Today we will have our first periodical exam. The coverage of our exam is from lesson 1, which is the basic concept of assessment. The lesson 2 is the principles of assessment, and the third lesson is the forms and purpose of assessment. So we have 30 items in our exams. Each lesson has 10 items. So all in all, it's 30 items. So read the instruction carefully and answer it for 1 hour.
What teacher Michelle did is the giving of summative exam. Again, it is done after the instruction. Hence, it is a type of assessment of learning. Second is computing of grades.
Hello, kamay with ani ordinance minimum perfect ang exam. Hala, nga naman ni simple. Ano nga may revelation exam? Hala, apil po lagi si John Del. Sige na lang, i-consider ko na lang kay Miss Pangkon kung si John Del.
This is where common mistakes are done in assessing. We call it the generosity error. Generosity error refers to the situation in which a rater gives higher rating compared to what is his output originally. In assessing, it is important not to practice biases in the classroom because your judgment of the student should be questionable or undeniable. Last is the giving of grades to the students.
Mr. Rosales? Uli mo lang dito. Apil ko na perfect ang exam. Patayin mo sa iyong pag-break na sa iyong pagkamaon nyo. Pero kaano nagdado?
Okay, ma'am.
Giving of grades to the parents.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Muna niya, gado sa iyong naka-break natin, sir.
Wow, good boy.
And giving of grades to the stakeholders.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Ay, good morning, ma'am.
Magsabay ko lang sa mga bata.
Ay, salamat kaya.
Thank you, sir.
These are all vital steps in assessing of learning. Through this, the student knows and can assess his performance for improvement. The parents will know what are his or her wants and needs. The institution knows what kind of pedagogical knowledge the teacher is lacking.
As a future assessor of learning, it is important for us to understand this concept because it is a powerful factor that could pave the way for educational reform. Through this kind of assessment, we can judge what are the students' wants, needs, and abilities that will guide us to make decisions in order for us to have a good educational system.